What does it mean to truly be yourself? In a world that constantly tells us who to be, how to think, and what to value, it is easy to lose sight of who we are, or more accurately, who we could be. Amid the noise of external expectations, many people find themselves trapped in lives that feel alien to them, imprisoned by norms they never chose. Yet, in the writings of one of the most provocative philosophers of the modern era, Friedrich Nietzsche, we find a radical proposition. You can and must create your own values. Nietzsche's call to become who you are is not just a slogan, but a challenge, a call to arms in the struggle for authenticity and self-realization. At the heart of this philosophy lies a powerful question. What if the key to a meaningful life lies not in conforming to society's predefined standards, but in courageously shaping our own moral compass? This idea, radical and empowering, has reverberated through the intellectual world for over a century, and yet, it remains more relevant than ever in our modern hyper-connected age. The relentless march of social media, advertising, and cultural expectations often reinforces the message that we are not enough as we are. Nietzsche, however, would argue that to truly live is to reject the values handed down by others and to take responsibility for creating one's own. In this essay, we will explore Nietzsche's philosophy of self-creation, the consequences of rejecting external values, and how this radical idea can help us find a path to deeper meaning, individuality, and personal fulfillment. Before we delve deeper, let me take a moment to introduce you to the Unfolding Journey channel. Here, we explore profound philosophical ideas and dive into life's most significant questions, just like the one we're about to tackle today. Whether you're here to challenge your assumptions or simply to broaden your intellectual horizons, this channel is dedicated to helping you explore the path of self-discovery, critical thinking, and personal growth. So, if you find yourself yearning to unlock deeper insights about life, philosophy, and the human condition, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss out on the unfolding journey ahead. At the core of Nietzsche's philosophy is a concept that might initially sound strange but holds profound implications: the will to power. Nietzsche proposed that at its most fundamental level, life is not driven by a desire for pleasure or the avoidance of pain, as many philosophers before him had claimed. Instead, life is driven by a deeper force, the will to grow, to assert oneself, and to overcome obstacles. This will to power is not merely about domination in the traditional sense. It's about the individual striving to express themselves fully, to create, to innovate, and to assert their existence in a way that transcends societal norms. It's about achieving greatness, not by conforming to the world's rules, but by crafting one's own path. This brings us to another central idea in Nietzsche's work: herd morality. Nietzsche argued that much of the moral framework that guides modern society is a result of the collective herd mentality. Rather than fostering individuality, herd morality encourages conformity and mediocrity. This is the morality of obedience, of following established rules, of choosing comfort and safety over the uncertain and often difficult path of self-creation. In Nietzsche's view, the herd represents the collective masses who live by inherited values, values that have been passed down from religion, tradition, or social norms without much reflection. Nietzsche saw these values as oppressive and life-denying. They stifle human potential and prevent people from discovering who they truly are. To escape this herd mentality and live authentically, Nietzsche proposes that we must reject these externally imposed values and forge our own path, what he famously refers to as the act of becoming who you are. For Nietzsche, this is not just a matter of living authentically, it's about creating an entirely new value system that reflects your unique perspective, desires, and potential. But how, exactly, does one begin to create their own values? Nietzsche's philosophy suggests that this process is not easy. It requires what he calls the overcoming of the self. This is not a negation of the self, but rather an affirmation of a new, higher self. It requires confronting the deep, internalized values that have been instilled in us from an early age, values of guilt, shame, and fear, and replacing them with values of strength, power, and creativity. In Nietzsche's vision, true freedom comes when we no longer live in submission to the external rules and expectations imposed on us by others. Instead, we free ourselves to follow our own path, governed by values that emerge organically from our own inner nature. This is not a freedom of indulgence or chaos, but a deeper kind of autonomy, a freedom that is driven by our highest potential. Nietzsche calls this process the becoming of the Übermensch, often translated as the Overman or Superman. The Übermensch is the individual who has transcended the conventional moralities of the herd and created their own set of values, values that are life-affirming, creative, and in line with the individual's highest aspirations. The Übermensch is a creator, an innovator, and someone who lives authentically without apology. This vision of human greatness is not about superiority over others but about self-mastery and self-creation. Nietzsche's Übermensch is a symbol of what we could become if we dared to discard the values imposed by society and instead created our own, independent of any external judgment. Of course, the path Nietzsche advocates is not an easy one. Creating your own values and becoming who you truly are comes with immense challenges. It requires courage, resilience, and the willingness to face hardship and suffering. Nietzsche is clear that this process is not for the faint of heart, but for those who are willing to confront their deepest fears and embrace their own inner potential. One of the major reasons people avoid this journey is the fear of freedom. Nietzsche argues that freedom is terrifying because it comes with the responsibility of creating one's own destiny. In a world where values are handed down and defined by others, it's easier to follow than to lead. It's easier to adhere to the norms of society than to break free from them and create something entirely new. But this fear of freedom is precisely why Nietzsche believes it is so crucial to embrace it. The discomfort that comes with self-creation is the necessary suffering that leads to growth and transformation. The more we shy away from this challenge, the more we deny ourselves the opportunity to reach our fullest potential. For Nietzsche, suffering is not something to be avoided at all costs. It is an inherent part of the process of becoming who you are. It is through struggle and adversity that we refine ourselves and develop the strength necessary to create our own values. Suffering becomes, in this sense, a catalyst for growth. In the context of the modern world, Nietzsche's call to create your own values feels more relevant than ever. We live in an age where external pressures, such as social media, consumer culture, and the relentless pursuit of success, often push us into molds that don't fit who we truly are. The fear of being judged, the desire for external validation, and the need to conform to popular opinions can make it incredibly difficult to live authentically. Nietzsche's philosophy offers a counterpoint to this culture of imitation and comparison. His message is clear: to live fully is to embrace the struggle of self-creation, to reject external authority, and to forge your own path with courage and conviction. In doing so, you can discover not only your true self but also the power to shape the world around you in ways that reflect your most authentic desires. This doesn't mean that we must live in isolation or abandon all societal values. Rather, it means that we must choose to live in alignment with values that we've consciously selected and cultivated, values that reflect our deepest passions, talents, and aspirations. Nietzsche's philosophy is not merely a call to rebellion, but a call to deeper, more profound living. To become who you truly are is to confront the established values of society, to overcome the fear of freedom, and to create a new set of values that reflect your authentic self. It is an ongoing, dynamic process, one that requires strength, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to personal growth. But in embracing this challenge, you can discover a life that is rich with meaning, creativity, and authenticity. If you found this exploration of Nietzsche's philosophy intriguing and thought-provoking, don't forget to subscribe to the Unfolding Journey channel. Here, we're committed to diving into the complexities of philosophy, personal growth, and self-discovery. Hit the subscribe button and join us as we continue to explore the fascinating world of ideas. Let's embrace the journey of becoming who we are together.